Please come.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Thank you. Prakhar, please sit down. Prakhar, you are from Rampur.
Yes, sir.
So tell us something good about Rampur.
Sir, there are many, since Nawabs used to earlier rule Rampur, so there are many historical places, such as we have Raza Library, which is touted as one of the largest libraries in Asia. There are many manuscripts there, Ramayana written in Persian, etc. Then we have Gandhi Samadhi. It is only the second place in India, apart from Rajghat, where the relics of Mahatma Gandhi ji are kept. So these are the two main things which are there about Rampur. Then we cuisine of Rampur is also very famous all around UP. So
what is the cuisine? What is any particular item?
Yes, sir. We have adrak ka halwa. Then we have chicken changezi. Since Nawabs used to have Khan Samas at that time. So when India got independent, those people established various kinds of restaurants, etc. So now cuisine of Rampur is very famous. So people flock to Rampur to have delicious.
You are from IIT Roorkee,
Sir.
9-pointer,
Sir.
9.47 to be precise. Why do you want to join civil service?
Sir, civil services was always at the back of my mind. It was a kind of childhood dream. And even at a personal level, I have seen that when a good officer comes, then he can actually streamline processes out there and reduce delays. So from this level to working at the highest level of policy making at the country, I think civil services offers an option which can continuously excite me and challenge me for 20-30 years down the line. And that is the reason that I took civil services as a career option.
You are from electrical engineering.
Yes, sir.
Why India is lagging behind in the VLSI, very large scale integrated circuit?
Sir, for manufacturing VLSI circuits, first of all we need silicon, and silicon is not silicon supply and manufacturing of VLSI products is very good at China, and China has actually what we call economies of scale they have done. So when we are producing VLSI circuits in India, it is not getting very economical for various firms who are producing. So that is one problem. That means firms are finding it cheaper to import the product rather than producing it. So that is the reason that we are lagging behind in VLSI, and for that various steps have been taken by the government.
Just elaborate the steps taken by the government.
Sir, there have been many policies. For example, electronics manufacturing clusters have been there. SPECS scheme is there. Recently, production linked incentive scheme for electronic sector was there, so that we become Atmanirbhar in this sector, and we can integrate with the global value chains in electronic sector also.
How is the rural development scheme being implemented in UP?
Sir, PM rural development.
Manrega or NRLM,
Yes, sir.
Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. Who are the agencies which are implementing these schemes?
Sir,
And what is the impact of these schemes?
Sir, UP last year created 29 crore man days in Manrega, which are one of the highest. Manrega is actually implemented at the ground level by Gram Pradhans, etc. So for example, recently now we are going to witness monsoon season. So
who decides the activities to be taken up under Manrega?
Sir, Gram Pradhan is actually deciding, and district magistrate also tells, for example, in our district, Rampur, right now district magistrate has said that this time we will create various kinds of ponds to store water. So that is also one of the way, and at the ground level, Gram Pradhans are also deciding.
What have you heard about Gram Panchayat Development Plan, GPDP? How it is prepared?
Sorry, sir, I am not aware about this.
Okay. NRLM, National Rural Livelihood Mission.
Yes, sir.
What is your take?
Sir, I am not able to recollect the exact provision of the scheme right now, but
what UP should do
yes.
to avoid COVID, third wave?
Sir, first of all, there can be preventive steps so that large congregation of people are not allowed. So yesterday only UP has cancelled Kanwar Yatra. So these kind of preventive steps are being taken. Then it is said that the third wave is going to impact children more as they are still not getting vaccinated. So pediatric centers can be established. Primary health centers which are there, which are currently being used for vaccination, their infrastructure can be revamped as the nurses who are there, they need to be trained. Yes.
How the scheme one district one product is being implemented in UP?
Sir, one district one product, the brainchild of the current government. Every district is having one product. For example, Rampur is having Zari Zardoji. So if I give example of even my district, there was a Meher B, a certain individual, and during COVID, district administration helped her to make masks, and then she was given incentives, various kind of incentive under ODOP, and then the same person is now having an SHG, and they are making Zari Zardoji product which are under ODOP. So in this way, district administration has directly helped many people.
What is your view on Ken Betwa project?
Sir, Ken Betwa project I think is a boon for the Bundelkhand sector, as there is a water deficit in that area. So we are going to interlink Betwa with Ken, as Ken has water surplus in that sense. But there were various issues with respect to the project. For example, UP-MP, since it is on the border of UP-MP, there were state level issues, coordination issues, but they have been streamlined now, and it is almost on the verge of completion. So various kind of agroclimatic products, for example, groundnut can be grown in that area. In that way, for irrigation purpose and for fulfilling the drinking water needs of the area, this project is going to be very
What will
important.
be the impact on Panna National Park?
Yes, sir.
From this project?
Yes, sir. There is also environment concern that a large area can get submerged of Panna National Park if we are going to connect this thing.
What is the inbuilt mechanism in the project to address this problem?
Sir, I am not aware about the exact thing how they are.
problem. Please tell us some important feature of this year's budget.
This year's
budget, Government of India's budget.
Sir, first of all, the 35,000 crore have been strictly given for the vaccination program, and because of that, health budget has increased very much. Secondly, capital expenditure has increased by 35%, and we have increased it to 5.5 lakh crore. So that is also one of the key highlights. Then Manrega was also given 40,000 crore extra. Earlier it was 60,000 crore, and due to migrant crisis, we increased it to 1 lakh crore so that more manpower days.
What is your take on the implementation of Atmanirbhar Bharat?
Sir, Atmanirbhar Bharat package was given in 3 tranches, and it was primarily to revive our economy. And we have given various kind of incentives such as collateral-free loans to MSMEs and etc. Long-term repo operations by RBI was also taken under. Government nudged RBI to give certain liquidity to growth-oriented sectors so that more and more output can be generated. So in this sense, Atmanirbhar Bharat is there to nudge domestic firms so that they can groom themselves, so that as in the post-COVID era, when India revives, we are able to compete with other economies such as Vietnam, China, and the firms who are going to leave these countries, they can get the same economies of scale that they are experiencing there in India.
What is the outcome of Leaders Summit on climate change organized by USA?
Sir, India, I think I'm not exactly aware, but India and US signed up energy. I'm forgetting the exact name. 2030 some. I'm forgetting the exact name. What?
But
India
what is the outcome of that summit? Forget about India.
Sir,
Yes. Generally.
Yes, sir. Sir, the summit was about.
In the global context, what is the outcome of that summit?
So the outcome was that we are going to cooperate more and more in this climate change area, as the US has got a new administration this time. So it was more that developed countries are still serious about that, because earlier they were to give $100 billion per year and they have not been able to fulfill that pledge. So in that sense, this summit has actually reinvigorated the interest of all the countries in climate change, as we know that post-COVID we are going to again face the climate change issues.
What is the coherence among Sendai Framework on Disaster Risk Reduction, Paris Agreement and SDG?
Sir, all the three, Sendai, Paris Agreement and SDG, hypothesize that if climate change is also a disaster and any kind of other natural disasters are also a kind of disasters, and if we do not take action, then they are going to be detrimental for the future of human beings. So in that sense, all the three are talking about the disasters that are going to.
Thank you, sir.
Prakhar,
Thank you, sir.
What is the meaning of Prakhar?
Sir, Prakhar means sharp and fast.
Sharp.
Sir.
So are you sharp, as you...
Sir, I try to be sharp.
I try. Very good. Tell me, what is the history of IIT Roorkee?
Sir, IIT Roorkee was established in 1847 as Britishers wanted to construct Ganga Canal. So
Okay.
it was started as Thomson College of Civil Engineering in 1847. Then its name was changed in 1852 to Thomson College of Engineering, and then various other departments were added. In 1949, it was given the status of university, and in 2001 it was elevated to the status of IIT. So
There is, in disaster management, there is a special contribution of IIT Roorkee. So what is that contribution, which is not there in any IIT?
Sir, IIT Roorkee has developed a earthquake monitoring system, I think, because we have a earthquake separate department which is not there in any IIT. I am not aware about the exact details, but there is an earthquake monitoring system, and we were also once, in my stay of 4 years, there was a drill also regarding that, but I am not aware about the exact details.
No, this is actually earthquake engineering, you rightly said.
Yes,
This is the only IIT where earthquake engineering
Yes,
is
sir.
there. What is disaster resilient infrastructure? What do you mean by that?
Sir, a disaster resilient infrastructure is that which can stand any kind of disaster. For example, if we have earthquake, then we have now shockers which can be established on the walls so that they can absorb the shocks. So this is a kind of disaster resilient infrastructure, and we are pushing that every new building which now we are going to make, it is disaster resilient, so that there is minimal human or physical loss.
And what are these national building codes?
Sir, national building codes are guidelines that are issued by the government, so that any new building
Which organization issued this?
Sir, Bureau.
Yes.
Sir, I am forgetting.
Bureau of Indian Standards?
Bureau of Indian Standards.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So-
What is that? What is the code?
Sir,
What is these guidelines? What they indicate?
So they give the guidelines that what kind of material is to be used, if according to different type of buildings that we are constructing, what kind of material that has to be used in that building, what kind of safety measures has to be followed, for example fire system, etc.
And what is this green building concept?
Sir, green building is a concept that whatever CO2 emission or greenhouse emission, these kind of emissions are there, the building is also there is a reduction of these kind of emissions. So that can be through various ways. For example, there can be terrace kind of farming, terrace kind of plants can be grown on the area, or there can be even IoT is also one of the aspects that lights are not being utilized unnecessarily. Whenever a person is going, then only that they will be used. So in this way, trying to reduce the emissions of the building is a green building.
You are electrical engineer, how much is our energy production today in India?
So, sir, our installed capacity is around 383 gigawatt in India, and out of which 61% is thermal, and out of which 53% is by coal alone, and around 37% is by renewable, in which most is by wind power, 38 gigawatt, solar is around 36 gigawatt, which is increasing at a very fast pace, and other gas is around 66%, nuclear is only around 1.8%.
Where you have more potential for solar energy? Which states?
Sir, there is much potential in Rajasthan because we have a large area. One of the constraints with solar is that we need large area, 4 acres for just producing 1 megawatt. So Rajasthan can provide that. Then coastal areas are also one of the major areas where we can produce. For example, because they have coastlines, and we are now having floating solar plants.
What about Ladakh?
Yes, sir. Third would be Ladakh, that we can also produce good amount of electricity from Ladakh. But the only concern is that we can only have decentralized power plants there, because still if we try to connect solar power with the grid, there are various kind of technical challenges. So if we can
such as?
Sir, such as if we produce electricity by solar, we have to produce DC, while our transmission system is AC. So we will have to use inverters in order to convert DC to AC. And if we use inverters, harmonics will be produced. So there is harmonic distortion. Secondly, sir, there is much voltage volatility in solar power. So we also need to maintain a stable profile if we have to connect it to the grid. So these are some of the technical challenges that we are trying to overcome.
Good, Prakhar. Tell me, UP, Uttar Pradesh, what are the main, environmental issues of Uttar Pradesh? And particularly water related, I'm not interested in air pollution, this, that, water related. We have good network of rivers,
yes, sir,
we have everything, still we have droughts.
Sir, actually we are not able to channelize that water to our cities properly. If we have water, then we are not able to channelize it. Secondly, for example, we have Yamuna, but it has gone so dirty that we are not able to utilize that water also. So we have the problem of plenty, in a sense, that we have plenty of water, but still we do not have a good canal irrigation system, for example, like Rajasthan, so that we can channelize it. So
my last question is that what is integrated water resource management?
Sir, integrated water resource management is that in that particular area, whatever water sources are there, we are utilizing it in a very efficient manner. For example, if a particular stream is coming, then we can store via check dams, etc. Whatever water we are using it very efficiently. So we are managing that particular area, whatever water resources are there, in a very efficient manner. So all those practices which we will be following will come under this head.
Thank you. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
You have done your BTech from this IIT Roorkee.
Yes, sir.
In which mechanical engineering, electrical engineering.
Sir, electrical.
So what are these inverter ACs, inverter fridge? In what way they are superior as compared to existing ones?
Sir, their transformer, etc. is already installed in those fridges. So if there is any voltage fluctuation, they can automatically adjust, so that any kind of voltage fluctuation do not damage the motors which are there. For example, BLDC motor.
But why the name has been given inverter? Inverter fridge,
yes,
inverter
sir,
AC, all available in the market.
Sir, I do not know.
There's a new, they say it is a new technology.
Yes, sir. I have heard about it.
Okay.
I do not know about this.
Okay, what is the future of nanotechnology in the country?
So,
Tell us the areas where it is being used.
so nanotechnology has various uses. For example, in COVID, there was a particular kind of PPE kit where even if a particular viral, if the virus comes on the surface, it will not be able to penetrate it, or it will get deactivated. So nanotechnology is there in medical field, bioimaging, biosensing. It has many uses. Then, sir, sorry, what was the second question?
What are the areas where it is being used, nanotechnology, like in medical?
Yes, sir. In medical, for example, sir, I was working on quantum dots. So quantum dots, we are having QLED TVs. We are having better kind of imaging now. Secondly, they are also used in by army for night vision cameras. So there also we are having application in defense.
No, nanotechnology definition you should know.
Yes, sir.
Any metal
Yes, sir.
which is converted into nanoscale particle,
Yes, sir.
the properties
Change.
they change.
Yes, sir.
So why property change from the molecular state?
Sir, because the surface to volume ratio at nano level is very high, and due to that reason various kind of chemical or physical or different changes take place. This is the reason.
So we can use these particles in developing biosensors.
Yes, sir, definitely.
So can you tell us what are biosensors, where they are being used nowadays?
For example, sir, in medical field, biosensors are being used to detect different kind of diseases which were earlier
You
not.
cannot detect diseases with the biosensor. You can detect any gas, for example,
Yes, sir.
like sulfur dioxide,
Yes.
any harmful gas can be detected.
Yes, sir. Anyhow.
And then after that, cholesterol detecting biosensors are available.
Yes.
So these are those things which can give you alarm. Okay, this is happening. So you should read about it. What are bioreactors? These are also very important for some industries.
Sorry, sir, I am not aware.
No idea. What is the future of genetic engineering in our country? What are the areas it can be used and being used nowadays?
Sir, genetic engineering is being used to create newer kind of pathogens, so that we can.
It cannot produce pathogen, means that will cause the disease.
Yes, sir. So
it would be negative.
sir, we can predict what kind of mutations are going to come.
No, genetic engineering means to produce superior organisms
Yes, sir.
with some new characters.
Yes, sir. New characters, so that our pharma
So
industry.
tell me the one area where it is being used all over the world and maximum in India. One genetic engineering project. There are several, but most important one is India is the hub of which disease? It is a metabolic disease.
Sir, India is about TB or diabetes.
Diabetes, you
hypertension.
said.
Yes.
Diabetes is the most important.
Yes, sir.
So diabetes, in this case, people, they are given insulin.
Yes,
And
sir.
from where we are getting human insulin, which is 100% like our body
Yes.
type of insulin. So that is the application of genetic engineering.
Yes, sir.
You should know what is flavor saver tomato.
Sir, I have not.
The flavor saver tomato, golden rice.
Yes, sir. Golden.
What is the future of golden rice in India? It was developed, we
Yes,
don't
sir.
see in the market.
Yes, sir. We do not see it.
So what happened and
Sir,
why it was produced?
Sir, it was for the deficiency of vitamin A. Golden rice was produced, and
It was developed only for poor countries like India.
poor countries.
But it is not available here.
Yes, sir. For fulfilling the nutritional deficiencies.
So?
Sir, there might be various issues with the golden rice. For example, yields might not be very high, which are there in other varieties of rice. For example, basmati or saraswati.
Okay.
Sarvati.
Now another question, in UP we have very small industries, no major, manufacturing like automobile, some steel plants, we don't have that much. So one sector which is most important is the tourism.
Yes, sir.
So if you are given the charge to develop ecotourism, what efforts you will make So the maximum tourists from all over the world, they visit UP. And when they visit, a lot of dollars will come
Yes.
and economy will improve.
Yes.
So tell us, what are the approaches you will follow?
Sir, first approach will be to change first of all the image of UP. UP is not right now seen as a tourist hub. So change through various campaigns. For example, there can be various campaigns to change the image.
No, Agra is there. Taj Mahal, a lot of foreigners, they come to visit.
Yes, sir, they
Agra.
come particularly for Agra. But if we have to promote UP as overall, we will have to change the image of UP so that people can flock to various places. They can plan a trip and they can go to various places. For example, Tamil Nadu has done, and it is the leading destination. Secondly, if we have to promote any place as a tourist place, we have to have good infrastructure so that people can stay there. There should be good lodges, etc. There should be tourist guides. People need to be trained so that they can help people see those places. So scaling of people, tourist guides, having infrastructure for hotels, giving them land, removing land acquisition problems for them through administration side, these steps will be taken.
So what is the single, aspect which foreign tourists, they want?
So they want culture. They, for example, India is seen as a cultural destination. They come India to.
That's true, but as far as hygiene is concerned,
Yes.
near Taj Mahal,
Yes.
near any big temple famous,
Yes.
you see what is the situation of hygiene.
Yes, sir.
The worst thing is the lot of pollution, contamination, unhygiene. And foreigners are very sensitive to these things.
Yes.
They don't like. And near such places you will find a lot of dirty things lying, garbage is lying. So such things, do you agree with me or not?
Yes, sir. This is a problem in UP that major iconic places which are there and they are facing these kind of issues. But administration has taken various measures.
Have you visited Taj?
No, sir. I have not. Never.
Being in UP, you have not visited Taj?
No, sir. I did not get the fortune.
Okay, thank you.